Yes, it's active. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here this morning, and I want to first thank the organizers of this program for putting up such a package as this, and appreciate the one who has spoken before me and the person who is going to speak after. You're welcome. Having said that, I know that this is supposed to be a summit, a conference, but permit me, I want to turn it into a class because the demography I'm seeing here is that demography I'm always interested in, the youth, because our advantage is in our strengths. And unfortunately, too, most of us are not utilizing that advantage. So, we're going to learn about what I've been told to talk about, and we're going to be having some doses of motivation in between. Because I know and I believe that we are a people who are supposed to be more than what we presently are. And that is why the dimension of my session is going to go that way. There is an organization called SMIDA, Small Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria. They said that there are about 41 million SMEs in Nigeria. And in a report given by the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, in 2023, they said that 80% of those businesses will die before the first 5 years. So it means for those who have businesses here already, there is a 50% chance that those businesses will die before the first 5 years of the life of that business. So the responsibility is on you and I to ensure that those businesses can outlive that length of time. Of course, there are a lot of reasons why those businesses will fail anyway, or where they may fail. And that is why sessions as these are very important, so that we can learn how to mitigate those possibilities and build viable businesses. So, like I said, I'm going to turn the session into a class. So how many people have existing businesses? You have existing businesses? Okay, so very few of us. Then the other category, we are in paid employment, right? How many people are in paid employment? Okay, there is still a very large fraction missing. Okay, how many people are students? Some people are still missing now. Where you come to now? You are not employed, you are not an entrepreneur, you are not a student. Who you come? Normal person. So the remaining of us, we are normal. Continue. God is watching. All right. I was just going to do maybe a brief analysis of our businesses. And for those, okay, how many people want or intend or love to start a business? Wow. Okay, at least there are a few people. All right, there are a few people. Okay, so whichever category you belong to, I just want to be able to position myself rightly so that no particular set of people are left behind. So for those who want to start a business, do you have a business idea already? If you don't, I can just give you a very quick tip. Once you get home or now, just write 10 business ideas that you think you can do. 10 things you think you can do. If you're in that category, please, you can write it now. 10 things you want to do as your business. Then I will come back to you even as you progress. I'm coming back to you. If you want to start a business, write 10 businesses you think you can do or you want to do. Now, how do you come to that conclusion? If you want to know where money is, go and look at what you are spending money on. That may be instructive. All right? So, what makes a business truly competitive? Someone was asking, because there are 5 of us doing the same thing, do I leave the space for them? Heck no. That is why business exists. You don't have monopoly of ideas, you don't have monopoly of performance. And that is why other people will come to the business sphere with you. So, you have to compete. How then do you make your business competitive? by giving it that edge. What are the edges? Talking about advertisement and promotion, talking about incentivizing your customer, enlarging your customer base, and all, customer service, customer experience, and all. Okay? So, what really makes a business competitive is the advantage it gives over other businesses. All right? What advantage can I have from your business over every other four? For that person who talked about five of them, what can I get more, or what can I get better from what you're already doing that is better than the remaining four? And you know, the last speaker talked about innovation, and I may want to lend my voice to that. That innovation is not ingenuity. It's not you doing a new thing. Hello? Innovation is not you doing a new thing. Okay, as we are here, tell me one thing that is new. Technology, but do you think it's actually new? We're just building on it. Everything, especially at this stage, whatever business you want to do, it is about repackaging, it's about jigging, it's about reformatting, it's about representing the same thing. Go and check your cars. How many of them are really new? They come to you and say, this is 2025 model. Go and open the bonnet. You just change some lights, change some grills and all that, put some one thing or here. But the basic things, the basic principle about an automobile remains the same. The chassis remains the same, the gearing system. All those things are a constant. We just do a few embellishments, adjustments, and redigging, repackaging, reformatting here and then we present it as an innovation. There is nothing actually that is new. So if that's your business, your competitive edge might be you wanting to do something that already is in existence better, or in a new way, in a new dimension, with more effects. I know we like that. Just give it more effects, and then it becomes an innovation. All right. Before now, we were using the red incandescent bulb. You remember that red bulb? That was what we were using. And some people thought, hey, can't this be better? All right. And we came to the energy saving bulbs. Somebody said, it can be better. Now we are in LED. Who knows where we are going next? So it is about the same thing being done better. It could be as simple and as silly as your business process management. How does things work within my business? All right? If somebody is ordering for a good, he has to wait 24 hours. Then after, I will say, Madam, now I have seen that you are paid, but I have to wait for my bank for another 24 hours. When they give me clearance, then I will send you a message to let you know that now the coast is clear. So within the next day, we will now bring. So it might be you just wanting to eliminate all those bottlenecks and say, once you pay, we are dispatching. All right? It might be things as silly as that. Okay? So why does this matter to us? Importance of resilience and client retention. Resilience is what I just described concerning that competition. Resilience is, just think about the rubber band. When you pull a rubber band back, what does it do when you release it? It goes back. So resilience is your ability to stretch, to accommodate changes within your business environment, which is a lot anyway. Changes within your business environment is a lot, but your ability to stretch and accommodate it, okay, talks to your resilience and ability to contract when you need to contract and all that, talks to your resilience. And of course, client retention. Now, I do majorly sales and marketing for a lot of organizations. And one of the things I tell them is that it is far, far easier. In fact, it is 20% easier to keep an existing customer than to get a new one. Client retention. You're in business and someone is calling you and saying, hello, what can I do for you? You are not ready yet though. You're in business. Someone is calling your number and say, hey, so how did you get my number? Come on. In the 21st century, where numbers are one a kobo, so you need to learn to keep your customers, all right? Retaining them is more important than getting other ones. Now, why? Because it is easier for you to upsell an existing customer than to get a new one. So you are making water, for example, and this person has always been buying this 75 cl. It will get to a point in time that you will have nurtured that person and say, I think now it's time for you to start buying 1 liter. That is upselling. Okay? And there is also the place of cross-selling. It's not an entirely sales class, but I'm just telling you that it is easier for you to retain an existing customer than for you to get a new one. And that is why this topic becomes important. I don't know who is timing me. Please, I need somebody to help me. All right? Just signal to me at intervals, or else I may mismanage the time. So what are the core pillars of a resilient business? What shows that your business is resilient? 1, vision and adaptability. I think I've talked a little about it. What is the vision for that business? Is it because A is doing it? Is that why you are doing it? Or because people are doing it? That's why you are doing it. Now, I chip in this. It is easier for you to sell what people want than you producing what you think they want. Hello, did you get that? It is not about what you think. Some of you just look around and say, what about tush? It's tush. Or if I'm doing the... But is that what people want? But guess what? When you're producing what people want, your sales drive is even easier because the demand is calling on your productivity. You're not the one thinking on their behalf. All right, so whenever those products comes out, it tends to meet a need in their lives. So there should be vision, there should be adaptability. And earlier I said when you're talking about adaptability of your business, there are a lot of things that surrounds it. And in the thorough business sectors, we do different kinds of analysis. And one of such analysis is the pestle analysis, okay, where we check the, like feeling the temperature of the economy as it affects your business and your industry, all right? So you need to be able to adapt to changes. He mentioned some, all right? People are going to be using less of nylon bags. That will now be paper bags, as in bags made out of paper. Are we looking at that? Are we thinking about that? The business place is a place of deliberateness, all right? There is a certain oil company, I won't mention the name, that all their filling stations today, they are running at a loss. All their filling stations, and they have a large chain. You know what happened? The big man saw what was going to happen in the oil industry, and then he overstocked all of them. Overstocked them more than what they need. I mean, these are people that their manager says, so when we need, we are always begging. Hey, if it is only 30,000, just give us. Just now he overstocked all of them because he can see, he's able to adapt his mind to the environmental factors that controls businesses. And then now they have to sell. They don't have a choice because we have an agreement. I've sold to you, you have to pay me. And tacitly, it transferred the loss to them. Okay, so we need to be sensitive about our environment. You want to start a business in this neighborhood, for example, and you look at the number of people in it already. You try to find out how those who are there already are faring. then it might begin to give you some signals concerning your location. Do I still want to locate here, or do I want to exit, or is there something they are not doing well enough that can improve on, and all that? So you need that level of awareness. Enough of me just jumping into something because people are doing it. Okay? And I want also to encourage us that we all have been talking about businesses, but are we talking about formalizing our businesses? Are we making our businesses formal? All right? So the most we do, we don't own the business. We don't get a pay account. Everything, make people just they pay. You know, then it will get to a point that a corporation will want to deal with you and say, in whose name should we write the check? And say, my name now. And they will say, we are not dealing with you, we are dealing with your business. Then you now look for a friend who has a registered business and say, make I use your account, run this show, and then you run it. And when it is time for the person to give you money, super story begins. Story that touches the heart. So please, you need to formalize your businesses. Even if I have an enterprise that I've run for over 2 decades, and it's an enterprise business name. So there is no offense in that, even if that is what you can do. But make it formal. How do you think Sweden was able to extract that information that there are about 41 million SMEs in Nigeria? Because of the database with CAC. So make your business formal. Create a system within your business. Create a system within your business. It is called system development. Create a system. Now you are still the one who does this, who does that, who does this, but create it as a portfolio that in the next few months when I grow this much, then I will get somebody to be doing this and be doing this. They will relieve me of somebody else. All right? Those are just by the way. And you may be talking to financial stability and risk management. You need to have strategies to manage cash flow. I think I just talked about that. How do you manage cash flow? What are your policy? No cash payment, or cash is allowed, but banking. You know, at this stage, it might still be only you, but you need to start that discipline now. You know, some people will say, when I grow, I will begin to do those things. That is the same reason why that business will not grow. You need to start that discipline now. We have highlighted that, hey, there is cash payment, but cash does not stay over more than 24 hours. By the next day, you must deposit it. Or no cash payment, transfers only. Or agents cannot collect money on our behalf directly to the company's account. All of those systems should be put in place. Then little accounting management. Some of you now, you start a business with 100,000, and by the time 200,000 came in, you said, yes, I'm not telling you, I will make out. I don't get 100,000 profit. So it's same. Because it's not paying shop rent monthly, it didn't factor it. Alright? So shouldn't there have been a system where you say my rent on this place is 120,000 per year? It means 10,000 per month. So once this is what we made this year, this month, 200,000, 100,000 is extra over it. That is revenue. That is not profit. So I've taken 10,000 for rent for this month. It has gone. I have at least 1 or 2 sales reps that I pay XYZ money out. Who is going to pay for all those money you used to make call? Those ones, you don't see it as expensive. Say, like, they've been on my phone. They've been on me buy credit for them. Now it's a business. The business should pay for that. You remove it. If it's a business that is internet dependent, cost of subscription, you remove it. Those things you want to deliver, who should pay for it? Where do you think the money should come from? So you will realize that that 100,000, it never reached to borrow. It's not time for borrowing yet. You remove all those expenses. If you have an open shop, local government will come, signage. Where do you expect this money to come from? And then once you see I invested 100,000, 200 has come, you just start spending the 100. And that is why, in a very short while, if you continue that way, you will fail in flying colors. Absolutely. So you need to be conscious of your flow, money flow. Okay. You need to manage, mitigate risk. What are the potential risks? Be conscious of them and mitigate them and sustain your business operations. Of course, innovation and digital transformation. I've talked about innovation already, leveraging technology and new trends to stay ahead. Someone asked that question earlier. How do you don't know this? How do you? Permit me to say that in the business world of today, it is a sin if you don't. If you don't know how to deploy technology to aid your resources, to aid what you do. Just learn it. Just the way, by the way, who taught you how to use Facebook? Not really anybody. You were just trying out. Just learn. Be deliberate about it. There are free sessions, sometimes you see online, there are individuals who are doing such empowerment. How many people have heard about Facebook marketing? Okay, fairly popular. How many people have heard about WhatsApp marketing? How do you know that your status, where you are doing selfie, is a business environment? And when I'm saying WhatsApp messaging, I'm not talking about your basic statuses. So I hope you know that if you put something on your status, it's only those of us who are your contacts that will see it. In fact, it's only contacts that saves your number that will see it. So it is limited. We're talking about thousands of people. That is WhatsApp marketing. There is a way to go. There are classes about it. So maybe from this session now, you begin to rethink how you have been expending your data, what you have been using it to do. These are things we should learn. All right, where our products can be before thousands of people. Who was the writer who talked about writing earlier? Okay, you are the one. All right. So it might be useful for you too. Coincidentally, too, I write. All right. I've been able to write about 13 books. And you need to create an avenue for sales. That could be one of them. Seller.com, I use Seller. You could list your books on Seller. You could list your book on Amazon. You could list your book on Kobo.com. You could list your book on Okada Books and begin to do your marketing from there. And we all need to come to that place where we look at appropriate. Yeah, and I think somebody also asked that, which platform do you think is best for me? It's dependent on what you do, really. Okay, it's dependent on what you do. All right. Consider Instagram, consider Facebook. X is more about politics and agitation and all that. I'm not even there because I don't have that liver. So you can consider those two. TikTok, all right. Then understand that they work. Don't post pictures on TikTok. You'll be wasting your time. The algorithm for TikTok is designed to favor videos. So you do more of it on TikTok. Okay? When others are shaking their bottom, you shake your dress. Let them come and buy. So, you need to, I think I've talked about leadership in passing through the agile leadership and culture. You know why this is important? If there is no culture in your business and there are changes, an employee goes, another one comes, whatever he needs or whatever that person tells him or her, he will likely continue to do. So you need to establish that standard and that culture and say, here, this is how things are done. And of course, being agile in your leadership, building strong internal team that can adapt to change. And lastly, customer-centric. Okay? Let your business be customer-centric, meaning it is centered around the customer. The customer is said to be king. Treat them like your income depends on them, like your salary depends on them. It actually does anyway. We are not in business if there are no customers. And I know the culture most of us agree with is in a way affecting us. We go to the marketplace or our mothers, our fathers' business places, and they sit down, and the customer comes, and one leg straight and say, love. That was how we learned. Alright? That was how we learned. I will tell you a story that may be shocking and surprising to you. When Mr. Biggs was still Mr. Biggs, when it was hot and everybody wanted to visit Mr. Biggs, one guy told me, he said, "Do you know why I like going to that place? I just like the way they open the door for me." It sounds silly, right? But that is a trick for somebody. That tricks him. That, me, they will now open the door for me. We are talking about customer centricity. Make the customer the center of your business. You need to try as much as possible to satisfy them. Even the good book says, as much as lies in you, be at peace with all men. I think it knows that you cannot totally be at peace with everybody, because some people are perennially difficult. So there is a course in sales that we take, which is called handling difficult customers. There is a way to deal and handle difficult customers because they are a part of your success story, if not today, tomorrow. Okay? So you should make your business centered around the customer. It's about what the customer wants. My wife is into a form of production, and we were looking at some of the designs she did for production, and I said, my opinion, this is not like it. We said, okay, just send all the samples to the client. Guess the one he picked. The one I said is the worst. But guess what? That satisfies him. It's about the satisfaction of the customer, not about my satisfaction. And we should be conscious of that. There is what is called salvaging of pain points. When you can salvage the pain points of a customer, you have won that customer. And when you are in business, you are not looking at the customer that will come once and not come back again. You want a repeat customer, and the customer can repeat visit to your business if he's satisfied. And that is real customer service, customer satisfaction, all comes out from. So when somebody is having a consistent bout of customer service, customer satisfaction, then he will have a good customer experience. When he's having a good customer experience, he will not only remain a customer, then he now becomes an ambassador for your business. That is how you should treat your customers. When you see a customer, don't just look at that customer. Imagine 5 others behind him or her. There are some things that this immediate customer cannot give you and may never be able to give you. But if only you can explore and drill down to 5 behind him or her, you're going to get it. So this is how we should see our customer, not just like people we are here to do a favor to. Of course, I agree that it's symbiotic. You are giving a service, is exchanging for money. But then we need to treat them with dignity, make them feel important. For Christ's sake, they want to part with their money. If for anything, then we should make them feel important, feel welcome. Not that you just treat them with levity or nonchalance. I give you this practical example. I have someone who cuts my hair, who was living, it's just on the same street, okay? Some people are looking at my hair and say, what are you still cutting there? So the guy is on the same street with me, and on this particular occasion, I got to install, for service, and he says, When I see finish, cost that one, I no know, sha. And he said, sit down, sir, I want to eat. Okay, you two, you are saying hi. Okay, I sat down a little, even though I knew what I wanted to do. I just said, excuse me, I'll come back. And that was the last time I was ever in that shop. So his shop was, let's just assume, was just some 200 meters away from my house. Then on the opposite side of the street, maybe about 700 meters, there is another barber. Guess where I went to? The one that is farther away. So sometimes you are wondering, Mama, XYZ, one time now, check. How have you been treating your customers? Not even the direct treatment, what about the ones they hear about? A satisfied customer may not tell anybody, but a dissatisfied customer will tell 100. How many times have you taken soda in recent times? Pepsi, Coke, or whatever? In recent, who took any last week or this week? You are taking something. Oh, you. Oh, you yesterday, yes. Who did you share your experience with? Nobody. I took Coke yesterday, so big deal. But if you find a cockroach in it, guess how many people you have told? And this is the mindset of the average customer. So you need to be conscious and make them the center of your, and that's what customer centricity is talking about. Make them the center of your business. So from today, let nobody treat customers with disregard any longer. Some can be very difficult. As a matter of fact, you yourself, you are difficult. Are you not difficult? With all what I have got, I'm just saying you should do this, and you can't do that. You yourself, you are difficult. All right? And that is the same thing you will have, which is, when you're talking around it's about sales and all that, there is a dimension of consumer behavior. Okay? It's a whole course on its own too. Where we talk about the dimensions of the behavior of the customer. Where we talk about why people buy. All right? And why people will not buy. Okay? So, how do you then attract prospective clients? So, these people are not yet within your ecosystem, but you want to attract them. How do you attract them? Number one, you should be able to identify and target high-value clients. I need to say at this point, for proper understanding and situation of the fact, that not everybody is your customer. The earlier you got that down in your mind, the better. Not everybody is your customer. Not everybody can be your customer. There is a difference between the customer and the consumer. The consumer might be the customer, but the customer might not be the consumer. And in your sales attempt, you need to identify the roles people are playing. Have you been to, okay, maybe I should just bring it to that level where it will be fun. When you are asking that girl out, and you decided to overlook the friend will want to prove that I'm important in this situation. Oh, tell me I'm talking to you now. Yes. In sales, there is the decision maker who might not be the consumer. Can I give you a quick example? So I want to go buy, or you are trying to tell me to buy sanitary pad. I don't use it, but I have a wife, I have a daughter. All right? So I'm not the consumer, but I'm the customer. But guess who has the buying decision? The user. So you may want to discountenance them and say, after all, you know what if I got the kilo and you won't know that the decision. Have you seen instances where you're talking to a people and they say, I need to go and speak with XYZ? That is where the decision will be made. And most times we overlook those decision makers because we are still fixated and concentrated on the customer. So you need to have this understanding to identify those who are really your customers. Who are the ideal clients? Excuse me. somewhere in around Fagba. Yeah. Sometimes back, I was refueling my car, and you know all these estate agents who sell and estate agents, you know them. Why are you quiet on me now? Those who sell property, bring flyer. And he approached that guy. I was looking at the scenario in front. He approached that guy. It was an SUV, the kind that when God butters my friend, I would also want to have. That kind of SUV. And he was speaking to the guy and all that. And the guy took a considerable length of time, only for him to realize after they have talked and done and said, okay, wait for Oga. He didn't get that. So apparently he's been talking to the driver. The Oga is not in the car. So wait for Oga to call. That time expended, zero, a waste. The person he's been talking to is neither a customer nor a decision maker nor a consumer. Out of the way. Time wasted, effort wasted, energy wasted. Because he will not identify his customer. So it's not really about profiling. There are people who don't look like what they are going through. Alright? And you think, hey, this guy must be boxed up. But really, it's not. Okay, so it's not about profiling, it's about analyzing. Alright? And about questioning to know those who are really. Listen to this. You have a young girl and he wants to make her hair. I mean, we had such encounter recently. They wanted to have in-house sports and I need to make my hair for this point and all that. If you take that girl to a shop where they sell hair and attachment and all that, what do you think ultimately will make that decision? If you say this is the one I want, I say no, I don't like that one, mommy, let's take this one. Because it's the consumer. So when they came into your shop, now listen to you, we. Mommy Ekabo, you're welcome and sit down. That girl is ignored. We need to use data and market segmentation to refine targeting. Well, I don't know the level of business we are doing. This might be a little out there because for you to have data, you must have been curating it over time. But I want to ask us this day, and I want to challenge us. Why do we think that the only form of business we can do and we should do is that one that is within a shop? Have you thought about that? Tony Elumelu will be 60 or he just turned 60 or thereabout. He started STB Bank at under 30. So, before now, we will go and look for examples of Ayejon. But before us, it's happening. Why do you think, okay, go and ask him, did he have that kind of money to start as money out of pocket? I believe no. We need to expand and enlarge our horizon. Why must your business be inside a shop? It's a good place to start, I agree. But can we think bigger? Goes into tech, into app development. You know the extent of possibility within that? And you don't even have to be the one building it. You have an experience about it. My younger brother is building one now. I won't tell you what it's about so that somebody will not go and steal it before it matures. But he can't build it by himself. So he hired some guys in India, and because the way I said hired in India now, it looks like no, virtually. Go to Fiverr, go to Upwork, you see people there who are willing to give you these services. Just identify solutions you want to create with that app. And then people will I have a young protege who is into app development. He doesn't have an office. As a matter of fact, he still lives with grandmother. But this guy makes average of 5 million per month. App development. Let's stop thinking small. Let's stop thinking small. I know some of us are on the way to the airport between now and tomorrow. You don't jump back. I know. But I need to also tell you that there is profit in chaos. There is profit in chaos. Do you know the summary of business? Providing solution. And where do we think we need solutions more? Because there are solutions needed to be provided here. I saw on Facebook a lady who is converting tires. That babe is now into big money and saying, guess how he gets his raw material? Vulcanizer, tire, mechanic, just putting tires together. He will shred them, remove all the wires in it, make them into bits that they can use for long tennis courts. They can use it even for roads. They can all those hard stoves, passes, and all that. And he said we are planning to extend beyond that. Now, I'm telling you all this because it is a possibility. Whatever you're thinking about now, all right? I was sharing with my wife recently. I said there is no small business. No business is small. It's about the dimension at which you are doing it. Oh, you are a caterer. You think it's small? Wait until they say you should come and be catering at the National Assembly. You will know that catering is not small. Or you are catering for the entire Total oil in Nigeria. It is no small business. No business is small. It is the dimension at which you are doing it. And that is the dimension I want to propel us to this day. Stop thinking small about that business. Why? If it starts from a shop, must it remain and die in the shop? Who are you relating with? Where is your network? How are you deploying your social capital? I think the last book I wrote was published in December. The one before then, somewhere mid of last year. I just felt, hey, who are all these friends? Come on, hang around. And without going to shop, without using any of the platforms I suggested earlier on my bed, the first week of launch, I made about 1.2 million on that book. What did I do? Already, wait ready. I'm doing a private launch. You work directly. I didn't take a hall. I didn't buy it back. Social capital. Oh, hey, I'm launching with this amount. God bless you. I'm launching with this amount. I'm doing this. Great. You are good guys. So, what are those social capitals you have? As you are seated here now, there is a 70% chance that the person you are seated beside, you don't know him or her. You are not related with the person. Sometimes what we are looking for is just 5 people behind the person we are interacting with. I want you to know that in this hall, if you want to call the president of this Nigeria, of this country, you can do it. It's about to say, who do you know? Who do you know? The person you know knows somebody. Who does that person know? Who knows who? Before we finish, we will get to him. And that is how things work. Stop belittling social capital. Learn to deposit in the emotional bank account of people so that people will be there for you when you need them. And I tell you, your value in a business is not only tangible. Don't mind me, when my time is up, I will stop. All of us are learned. You can always read this. You need also to value your intellectual capital. It's not just about money. With that sense of humility, I'm on the board of 3 companies that I know, I can remember, the ones that are front line, as a director in those companies, and there is none of those 3 where I put money. Because we need you on board. Why? Intellectual capital. It amounts to something. It amounts to something. So if now you are saying I don't have money, what do you have? Package it as a resource. There was a business we did that failed. I was into the manufacturing of tissue paper and serviette. but the business failed. But how did I get on board that business? Intellectual capital. Because I've known about the business. In fact, I set up one for someone. I consulted for that person in Abuja who started one. I think I started about 3 tissue companies in Nigeria. So when we wanted to start this, that capital was what I brought to the table. I knew where to buy the machines. I know engineers to come and install it. I can run the machine. I did a business plan for them. This is how to make it work. That was my equity contribution. So what is it do you have? And a lot of us are belittling knowledge these days. We are belittling knowledge. It has to be by muscle. Muscle ò lè ṣe sá. Agbára ò lè ṣe. Energy is not enough. Try synergy. What you lack, somebody else has in abundance. If you come together, there is going to be a marriage that can be unchallengeable. I belong to a team now. We are working on a project. I mean, if you see the diverse energy from different people, just a group of 5, 7, but what everybody is bringing, come on, it's value to the collective group. What do you have? What do you have? That business you can't start now. You are saying because of money, because of, you have all the excuses for not starting it. But have you immersed yourself in the ecosystem of the business? You want to start what business now? Give me an example. Give me an example of a business. Liquid soap production. Have you ever, since the day you have been saying there is no money, have you gone to the market before to go and price the material? And say, how much is this soda? How much is this chemical? Have you gone to price the bottles? How much is bottle? Have you done a business plan? And that is why today, some of us, the more the level of money that comes to your hand, the more confused you are going to become. Because there is no prior preparation of how to use the money or where to deploy the money, and it's going to be a waste. Have you gone there to find out and put figures together? Not until you go will you discover that the woman selling bottle is even running out of cash. Or you have so much products to push out. And say, my daughter, this is what you want to do. And from the experience of those who have been coming, it begins to give you lecture. And he said, you know what? You can always take half of what you need and pay for half. Half of the money you need to start the business is just being given to you. That is what is called OPP, other people's money. OPP. You can use other people's money to do business. So stop complaining about what is not there and begin to utilize what is available. So you need to leverage technology and social media for broader reach. Since the day you have been posting on Facebook, I don't know when last Mark Zuckerberg called you and gave you a bonus. That place is a marketplace. Some people are selling value. Some people are selling noise. Some people are selling whatever they want to sell. Use it to profit. All right, let me run faster. But I'm satisfied with what I've been able to transfer so far, that even if my time is up at this time, I will feel fulfilled. So create a value-based offering tailored to the client's needs. Tailored to the client's wants. It is about meeting their needs. If you are not meeting their needs, you are not in business. And it must be value-based. What value are you giving me? So why do you think someone will leave 10 million naira, maybe that can buy a decent Toyota Camry, and go and splash 1.2 billion or 1.5 billion on a Rolls Royce? Motor no be motor. Motor na motor. Motor no be motor. La 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 la. La 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 la. So that is quite contestable. I hope you know. Let's just digress a little. How many of you use iPhone here? iPhone 16. iPhone 16 is a waste, Abi. But why now? Why did they hold iPhone 16? Your any other phone will do it. It's about value. And when you're talking about value, you are not talking about monetary value. My ego has been massaged and built to an extent that what needs to complement this ego now is to step out of a Rolls Royce. That is the value. That people will see that into don't get, that is the value. So it doesn't matter what the value is to a customer. What is important is that does it meet the need of that customer. Have you seen some people? I don't know if this happens, but it's possible for you to put an air, all this air extension, and people are saying, oh, this hair, you know, fit your facial structure, but it's expensive. People also need to know that I can afford it. That is the need. And that is what you target in a customer. So when you're speaking to a customer, for example, when we're talking about sales, in that discussion, you should be able to pinpoint the pain points. What are the pain points? And those are the things your goods should be able to address. If it's not addressing that pain point, you will struggle. And you may not even make that sales. Are we together? Alright. So you need to build a strong brand story that resonates emotionally. Now, get this trick. Alright? About buying. People buy with emotions, then they try to rationalize with logic. They buy with emotions and rationalize with logic, deceiving themselves, ourselves, that we are bought with logic. So we need to appeal to that emotions. I'm selling gold or diamond. I say, you know, some of your friends have this kind of gold. They buy gold. In fact, next party, they buy jade right. Don't buy the emotions. Then he will buy based on that emotion. Then he will now try to rationalize it with logic. He said, "Oh, I've always wanted to buy it. That's why I have this money." But actually, we buy based on emotion. So it's not a mind game. All right. Remember, I told you about customer behavior. It is how to harness that behavior to our advantage. So we need to stand out in the crowded market. I think we have done that, talked about that before. Positioning for success, differentiation. That should be something that differentiates you. I have given the example of this guy I'm about to give in 3 different classes, even in corporate setting. All right? It's my tailor. It doesn't live close by. In fact, the first dress he sold for me, he just told the person who introduced, my younger sister who introduced us, he said, tell him to send his picture. I sent him my picture. That dress was a perfect fit. We have not seen before. So what other thing that beats me aside his expertise is that he comes to deliver it at home. Tailor. I'm not talking about man. It beats me. I don't know if people have been doing it, but that was an extra for me. Guess what? I will have paid for that transportation. Or you think it was free? He would have built it into his cost. But I was satisfied that I don't need to be running after someone for the where should I come? When should I go? I will bring it to your doorstep. That is differentiation. A branding sort of. You need to differentiate your business. What stands you out? It might even be your welcoming alone. A Japanese proverb says, "He who cannot smile has no business opening a shop." People come to your shop and what they see is a frown. You don't see monkey wey look like lemon before. Monkey before no fine, you can't still lick lemon. Everybody is going to be like this. And you are selling. And you want people to come, flock into your shop. You are not welcoming. You are not accommodating. So that may be the only thing that differentiates you, all right, from others. But you need to look deeper and say what sort of differentiations are there. Do a market intelligence. I think I talked about that. The understanding of competitors, the strengths and the consumer behavior. This is a whole lot. SWOT talking about strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats within the business. When you do that analysis, it's going to help your business. And say, okay, this is the weakness of this other business. Let me up it. Okay, this is the threat to our business. How can I mitigate it? These are the opportunities. How can I cash in on it? I hope still, how much more time? Oh, okay. Okay, do you believe in that 5 minutes I can run through everything left? So let's see the magic now. Value proposition. Create a unique value that attracts and retains your clients. Alright? So what are the strategies, branding and reputation? How strong brand identity influences your client perception? What do they know you for? Your lateness is a reputation. Your lateness is a branding, and branding goes beyond the colors and the logo. A brand is a promise. So what promise? You know why you go back to KFC and eat that chicken? Because the brand gave you a promise. Why do you take Coke and go back to take it? Because it gave you a promise. That the same one you took yesterday, if you take it today, it will still taste the same. That is a promise in consistency. You are creating a brand when people begin to say, when it tells you 2 o'clock, check your time. That is also a brand. A brand that is not deliberately crafted will still always be crafted. Not having a brand is a brand. People cannot hold you. You don't have a reputation. It is still a brand. Because what is the brand of that business? They will say, a brand that has no reputation. That is still a brand. So we have talked about social media, where you can put yourself out as a force, all right? I've been into business consultancy and trainings for the past almost 2 decades now, and I get a lot of referrals virtually because I make myself visible. Listen, a product that is not visible is about to die. Visibility is the strength in marketing. If they can't see it, they are not buying it. The loyalty of customers is short-lived. You have alternatives. You can be replaced. And guess what? While we were much younger, they tell us that it is indecent to blow your own trumpet. Boss, I was in that lane for so long until I discovered that everybody is busy blowing their own trumpet. They are not even ready to help you blow your own. What do I do? I carry my trumpet, dust and begin to blow by myself. Self-promotion. If you like, Pastor Awe and I, is the first time we are seeing in person. But it was in a session I did, was it during COVID, right? And said, oh, I see this man, I see what he does. That's why I'm here today. So, whatever you do, it should be such that there can't be a passage of 5 minutes and people don't know what to do. You need to put it out there. Okay, networking and partnership, we have talked about that. I've just talked about referrals. I've talked about strategic alliances. All right, because I know that now we are in the era of artificial intelligence and IT. The company I just told you about is a fintech. Because I know that's the dimension. Okay, alliances. Sorry, leveraging digital marketing and all. I think we talked about that. Let me create a good first impression. Someone said there is no second chance to create a first impression. You need to be conscious of that even in your business, your presentation of your business, your engagement with your customers. Learn to build trust and credibility. And when we're talking about trust building, trust is not built by an occurrence. Trust is built over time of consistency. That thing you have been doing consistently over time becomes a fulcrum through which people can see you as trustworthy. And you can't come out and say, I'm trustworthy. No, you have to be, not necessarily having to say. Okay? So I said earlier that retaining your client is more profitable than acquiring new ones. You need to have statistics to balance those two and know how they contribute to your long-term businesses. Okay? So what are the key strategies? Deliver exceptional customer experience. Have I talked about that or not? Yes, it means you are listening. Consistent engagement and communication. Engage your customers, relate with them, speak with them, let them have the after sales service. That will also be a differentiating factor in your business. We were doing a little project and all that, and we bought light fittings. My wife ordered for some light fittings in Lekki online. A year after, did I say a year or 2 years? Even till now, they are still calling to say how far light fitting. We know the quick spot, but they are still asking how. I was surprised. But you who is buying perishable, who is selling perishable, you that wig can be defective, not by your hand, but from the manufacturer. You that dress might be out of place. Once you sell, you believe that sales has ended. Exchanging value for product or service is not the end of sales. That's not where it ends. But we are usually happy, at least money don't enter my pockets. Then you free out. Maybe so we talk out. Free out. But you need to follow up. Constant communication. When you have new stock, those are the people you will first sell. Send the pictures to them, images to them. In fact, money sizing, you will like it. Then you can have loyalty programs, incentives. Oh, come to our shop. When you cut your hair for 5 times consistently, we give you the 6th one free. Things like that. When we buy up to 500,000 naira worth of dresses, we'll give you a camisole free. Blah, 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 blah. All those dynamics you can put into your business, proactive problem solving, and then get feedback. Get feedback. Get feedback so that you can improve. Most of us don't like feedback. Most of us do not like feedback because sometimes they are hurtful, sometimes they are not pleasant. But someone says, and I quote, feedback is the mean of champions. So it means if you want to become a champion, you must be open to feedback. Then you must learn how to give feedback and how to take feedback. Maybe that's not, but I can just drop this. You can just go and read about it or search about it. Go and look at the sandwich approach to feedback. Okay, go and learn it, and it should help us significantly. Your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. Those are the people you learn from. Thank you so much. I'm Dapo Omojola.